Hi, guys. Welcome back to the Sing Confidently Live Creatively podcast. Estelle here. We've been going through the How to Sing podcast series this week. So thank you so much for listening and keeping on coming back. Today, we're getting into how to sing when you haven't sung in a long time or you feel like it's been a long time. Okay, so let's get into it. It's going to be a little bit short. Excuse my congested sound right now. I am a bit congested, but we're gonna keep it pushing. So, if you are someone who maybe you're like me, like I grew up singing in church, in school choir. Maybe you're like me and you like grew up doing a lot of that stuff, or maybe you just like sang a little bit at church or sang a little bit at school choir and you always enjoyed it, right? But then what happens is that you go to college, right? And for me, I went to college and I would have loved to do something creative or in the arts, but I didn't really have like a solid, like, this is what I want to do, like decision really. And so I kind of went along with what was expected of me to do something that was stable. And so I chose psychology pre-med and I was like gonna, I was on that whole healthcare path. But I still loved to sing. I still loved to do artistic things. I was style blogging, I was doing fashion stuff. And then I also added a music minor. So I did have a voice minor for a few semesters and I took private lessons in college and I was in the university choir and all these things. And it's like, I literally could not stay away from singing, right? And even after college, I did go that medical route. And even when I was in med school, I still wanted to sing. So, like, it doesn't matter how long it's been. If you still have that, like, I still have that desire to sing, that is worth pursuing. It's worth exploring. And so I want the first thing that I would say, like, if you are that person is who maybe you didn't really get back to singing after college or after high school, you just like got busy with life and jobs and work and so many different things in life, and you have put singing on the back burner and you feel it. Like you can feel it still tugging at you, but you've put it on the back burner and you've said, oh, I don't have time anymore. I'm too busy. I don't have the money. We already tackled those topics on the previous episodes, right? The first episode that we did this week was how to sing when you don't have time. That was on Tuesday. We talked about how to sing when you don't have money for private lessons. That was on Wednesday. Yesterday, on Thursday, we talked about how to sing when you feel selfish for doing what you love. Like maybe it's that you feel selfish because you're an adult and you're like, oh, what will people think about me? They're going to think that I'm just like so focused on myself and what I want to do and I'm not thinking about them, right? So, if any of those things have come to mind, and ultimately you just feel like it's been too long and you don't know how to even get back to that, I want to give you two things actually that you can think about today. So, the first thing is that I want you to decide to change your mindset, commit to changing your mindset. Okay. Similar to what we talked about yesterday, rewriting your story, rewriting your beliefs, you need to commit to changing your mindset and realizing that even though it's been a long time, and the other thing is maybe it's not that, time and busyness and all that stuff that's limiting you as you're maybe older now, but what's limiting you is literally your voice itself, right? Maybe you're feeling like your voice is, not as flexible. Maybe you're much older and your voice has changed and there are things that are real, like physically that have changed in your voice. But I want you to know, regardless of where your voice is physiologically, like the physicality of it, that doesn't mean that you can't start singing, right? It's never too late. I want you to refuse to believe that it's too late for you to start singing, right? Whether you're in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, your 70s, your 80s, like it doesn't, you can still incorporate singing into your life in some way. So it's never too late. So decide to change your mindset about that and refuse to compare yourself, because you're going to be tempted to compare yourself to younger singers or to other people who maybe they did do singing, they did do musical theater or voice, they studied voice in college and grad school or whatever. You might compare yourself to them because now you're in your 30s and you didn't do that in college, but you still want to start singing, right? So don't compare yourself to other people as well. So that's like mindset. You have to kind of change your mindset about that. It's never too late. There's no need to compare yourself to other singers because every single individual voice is different. Okay. And then the second thing that I want you the second step I want you to take is after you have like started to change your mindset, right? I want you to also start with where you are, right? So that is especially if you're like, oh, my voice is older and it feels like it's not flexible enough, or maybe you're feeling strain. Start with where you are. What is it that's happening in your voice? Start to notice what your voice is doing whenever you start to sing. And, if it is a physical thing, then of course, like definitely, talk to your primary care doctor, because that could be something that is going to be a hindrance. But for the most part, you can start small. You can start with small steps, right? Especially most of you listening are in your 20s and 30s and maybe 40s too. But just based on the stats, based on the Apple Podcast stats, I know most of you listening are in your 20s and 30s. And so most likely you just need to start small. Like you were singing in choir maybe once or twice a week when you were younger, and now you're like, oh, I don't even know how to start getting back into singing again. Well, you only started with once or twice a week when you were a kid, right? Like in choir. How many times did you have choir every week? Think about that, right? How many times did you sing in a private lesson every week when you were younger? So start small. Start with and these small steps can look like so many different things, but it can start with trying a few vocal warm-ups in the car. You guys know I have many vocal warm-ups for you to sing along with if you scroll back on my podcast. You can sing along with your favorite song in the car and then pause the song, or not, maybe not in your car, but in your house or whenever you're doing this. Pause the song and then try singing it by yourself and listen to how you sound. Listen to yourself. Notice how you're singing. What's going well? What do you want to change? Right. And then it can look like singing along. Okay, I already did that. Singing along with your favorite song, then singing by yourself. Yes. Okay. It can also look like grabbing a voice lesson, right? To figure out how you're going to start singing and incorporating that into your life practically, right? You can come and do that with me at creativelybyestelle.com/studio if you want to, or find a local voice teacher and just like grab a session with them and like ask them for their feedback and their insight as well. Because that's how you're going to, get someone else to hear you and where you are, so you know where to even start, right? So sometimes if you don't know where to start, like get outside feedback from a professional coach, a voice teacher like myself, and I would love to be there for you virtually. But there's so many ways that you can grab a lesson with a voice teacher. And then the last thing you could do is to get around other singers, right? Think back to when you were in high school and middle school, right? You were in choir, you were around other singers, you were in theater, you're around other people doing this thing of performing, right? Of using their voices. So you can come to the Facebook group, the singing tips and technique for women community that I have now for you guys on Facebook. It's a small step that you can do, but it's a way to get around other singers and get inspiration every single day, connect with other singers and performers every single day in the Facebook group. So I want you to think about these two things. First of all, changing your mindset. It's not too late. You absolutely can start singing again, just like you used to. So change your mindset is the first thing. And the second thing is to start where you are with small steps. Okay. This could look like trying a few vocal warm-ups in the car, starting to sing along in the car with the song, and then turn down the volume and sing by yourself and hear your own voice, right? Like literally just singing by yourself is such a beautiful way to start to, engage in singing as an adult. And then you can grab a voice lesson. I would love to be there to support you. I will actually help you come up with a personalized schedule for how you can start singing and what warm-ups you should do and what should you focus on in your singing time and all that stuff. So I can help you do that so that it fits in with your busy schedule and your life right now. So you can go to creativelybyestelle.com/studio to grab a lesson with me. But you can find other voice teachers as well. And then make sure you come and get around other singers. This is what's going to inspire you and help you to keep going and help you to make sure that you remember that you can start singing, is being around other singers. So come to the Facebook group, and I would love you to let me know what small step you're going to take to get back to singing today. So are you going to start doing vocal warm-ups in the car? Is that what you're going to do? Which one are you going to do? Are you going to sing a song by yourself in the car, or sing a song and listen to yourself back? Are you going to record yourself singing? Like, what are you going to do? What small step are you going to do to get back into singing if you haven't sung in a while or a long time? Okay. And that can look different for everyone. It could be a year, it could be 10 years, it could be 20 years, right? But however long it's been, it's time to start again, right? It's time to come back. Okay, come back to singing, you guys. Come back. So come to the Facebook group. Tell me what step are you going to take? What small step are you going to take? And I will support you as best as I can in doing that. Okay. Thank you so much for listening, you guys. Thank you for coming, joining along this series this week. I hope that it's been so helpful to you. I actually have one more, but I'm going to save that. I think I'll save that for Monday's episode for you guys and do like a fuller episode for that one. But yeah, I hope these have been helpful to you. Let me know if you have any questions. Again, come to the Facebook group. Let me know what step you're going to take to start singing again. And I'm happy to support you. I will talk to you guys later and have an amazing day. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode and to this show. I'm so in awe of you for being here and showing up for your creative gifts. That takes courage. Don't forget to join the Performing Arts community on Facebook for support and inspiration as you continue on your journey. If this episode helped or inspired you in any way, please leave a review on Apple Podcasts and share it with someone. It means so much. Thank you again, and don't forget to keep singing, acting, dancing, performing, and living creatively. Talk to you next time.